This entire film takes place on a train, but not one day was spent on an actual train? What gives? Buckle in for a wild ride as we go through all the movie magic that brought Bullet Train to life. Number 1. Brad Pitt did about 90 to 95% of his own stunts.
He just won't be tamed, man.
According to his director David Leitch, Brad is an incredible athlete and obviously one of the biggest movie stars working today, and that's because of his work ethic and talent. And checking out this behind-the-scenes footage, it shows. Number 2. Real flames on set? No big deal. Joey King handled working with small pyrotechnics like a boss, because on this set, they did not hold back when it came to filming dangerous scenes practically. Number 3. There was definitely blood.
You know, when you sign up for a David Leitch movie, you know you gotta get a couple battle scars, some war wounds.
Aaron Taylor Johnson wound up leaving the set with a pretty nasty one, and we're not surprised why after hearing this.
Get drop kicked across the room, and the one sharp bit of the corner basically where there wasn't any padding.
Well, that sounds awful.
Took a chunk out of my hand, and I literally went, boom, passed out.
Number 4. Well, sort of.
And it was in the heart of lockdown, so we're not going to Tokyo.
Even though they really wanted to, the pandemic was not letting up, so they had to bring Japan to them. 90% of the movie was actually filmed on a soundstage. Sets like the highly detailed subway made the movie feel like they really were in Japan. But while they didn't leave the country, they did still hit the road sometimes. Number 5. Epic seems like the right word to describe it.
Some of the crew who would get motion sickness.
Okay, well, that isn't so cute, but the fact that the set they built was that convincing is impressive.
They created, great train and then platform in the studio.
The platforms were all made to be modular, so the crew could easily adapt and change up the set to look like multiple different cars.
We had several train cars, 3 train cars that they could redress and swap around.
But our favorite part?
These video walls, this was what was so amazing. They were like 20 feet tall and football field long.
Okay, so they weren't exactly that big, but they were massive. And the video walls were responsible for playing footage of rushing scenery outside the train window. They really did bring Japan to them.
They'd be flashing the trip from Tokyo to Kyoto.
Number 6. What did you say? This freaky and weirdly cute mascot was based on an anime character, but why was Momomon included in the movie? It was to show some of the wild sights you can see on a train in Japan, since there is an actual Pokemon-themed car on a real bullet train. Cool as it is, honestly, we wouldn't want to share a train with this character.
It's great! Yay!
Number 7. Yeah, this one is brutal.
Brad, the consummate professional he is, decided during part of the choreography to go, wouldn't it be good
Brad Pitt could get a bit caught up in the moment,
if I just hit Brian in the nuts over and over again?
and did maybe go a bit too far at times. Number 8. It's not an action comedy without some laughs. Although these ones weren't always appreciated. It's a shock they made this movie at all, knowing how much joking around happened on set.
We were just trying to make each other break and crack.
This was partially because
David Leitch gave us so much room to improv and ad-lib.
So, who was the most fun to make break on set?
The best would be getting the cameramen who are literally trying to hold the thing together, or the boom guy.
Number 9. This doesn't sound easy. And surprise, surprise, it wasn't. For David Leitch, the toughest stunt to pull off visually and technically was when the guys were flying out of the door, since, according to Leitch, we had to have stuntmen on a wire, 3 riggers, and puller. Unfortunately, the set posed a problem since the plan was to kick the guys out the door, but it wouldn't really work out for that. So they got creative. Number 10. The work never stops. Being able to adapt quickly really worked in their favor. Director David Leitch pushed his team, making the stunt team work late and re-rigging the set just so they could create a fight and film it quickly. How quickly? Well, Leitch admitted that we just did it on the fly, and we leaned in and we got it. Teamwork always makes that dream work. Number 11. He knows how to dress. He surprised us with his stellar outfit choice at the premiere for Bullet Train, but we had no idea Brad Pitt was the one to credit for this wacky yet iconic look in the movie. His director did say, Brad came in on fire for big and broad, which is why he opted for the thick glasses and bucket hat. We don't hate it. Number 12. Would we expect anything less?
Yeah, he trained a lot.
While he didn't spend months preparing, he did put in the work, even while the pandemic made it tricky.
Early on, before we were shooting, we were going to his house, masking up, like getting our tests.
And the proof is in the pudding.
And getting him in a fighting shape.
Those workouts worked. Number 13. Pitt knew his place. He may be a movie star, but he took a hit on set when he needed to. Literally.
He just was really gracious about allowing people to slap him.
Number 14. They were everywhere you looked. Since apparently on a train, you've got to be resourceful when it comes to fighting. This team got as creative as they could when building the fight scenes. But that's not all. They seriously used anything they could on the train as a weapon. Chopsticks, tables, needles, briefcases, laptops. Number 15. She might punch you in the kisser. She spent 3 films playing a sweet girl in a kissing booth, but Joey King brought all the tough vibes for this role. She even brought the heat doing a lot of her own fight sequences. Number 16. Who was asking? None other than the star of the movies, Brad Pitt.
I had a great dialect coach.
So good, in fact, that it confused some of her co-stars on set.
When I was shooting the movie, the days I was working, I would just stay in the accent, and Brad thought I was British for the first 2 weeks.
Number 17. What can't David Leitch do? The director of the film wanted in so bad that he actually dropped out of directing another film called The Division to do this one. But considering Bullet Train has really brought him full circle after first working with Pitt as his stunt double early on, it's no surprise.
You know, I've been working with Brad for so long, supporting him as a stunt double, building characters.
That bromance is real.
Now he's going to build this character that supports me as a filmmaker.
Number 18. Ladybug was one unique character, but the truth is, Pitt took a load of inspiration from physical comedy legends like Buster Keaton and Jackie Chan, and those vibes set the tone for the whole team. David Leitch attested that Pitt, well, he was leading the way. Number 19. It wasn't always an action movie script. In fact, Bullet Train was inspired by a book from 2010 called Maria Beetle, which only got its English translation over 10 years later. Its author Kotaro Isaka did say he thought it would be an ideal Hollywood movie. Number 20. Pals can make some great teams. This film was partially a success because of the close relationships between many of the main people on the team. The film's producer, Kelly McCormick, happens to be married to the director David Leitch, who, as we know, happened to be Brad Pitt's stuntman for much of his career. Oh, and the editor of the movie, Elisabeth Ronaldsdottir, she's edited almost every movie the couple have made together. And there you have it. This blockbuster blew us out of the water, and to know they had such a blast making it, well, that just makes us love it even more. Which impromptu weapon used was your favorite?